Live from Paradise Studios in Massapequa, New York, it's Unger the Radar, starring Randy Unger. Brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Tonight, Randy will be reviewing the new films Happy Death Day to You, Lords of Chaos, and Alita, Battle Angel, with special guest critics Rachel Kolb, Jason Koenigsberg, and Rob Harris. Randy will also be going over this year's Academy Award nominations. And now, here's your host, Randy Unger.
Hey guys, welcome to Unger the Radar. I'm your host Randy Unger, and I have a very special panel of guest critics today, as always, but this is a little more special because we're going to be discussing this year's Oscar nominations. But first off, Jason, how are you? It's been a while.
It has been about a month, but it's great to be back. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I'm doing well.
Anytime, sure.
All right.
Rachel Kolb, no stranger to the couch. Hello.
Yes, of course. Happy to be back.
Yeah, good. And Rob, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, I know Jason and Rachel, you were here for our Golden Globe discussion. We've got Rob here as sort of a newcomer to that topic of conversation. So let's just dive right in. You obviously know about the Oscar nominations this year. In general, what are your thoughts about this year's nominees?
My thoughts were predictable. I feel like they chose to honor a lot of good films, good to average films, and they ignored some great films.
Yes.
So we could get into the list of snubs if you really want to. But there was a couple that I was very upset were ignored. So Ethan Hawke for First Reformed,
Absolutely.
off the top of my head,
Very
for
good.
the acting categories. I was
Yes.
very upset to see that one snubbed.
Interesting.
But overall, it was what we sort of expected. There was no major surprises.
Right.
So.
It's kind of standard this year.
Exactly.
But some really great films nonetheless.
There's two, the films that I'm rooting for on Oscar night.
Which
Only two of
ones
them are
would
on my
those
top
be?
10.
Which ones are those?
Those
Yeah.
would be Black Klansman, which was number 3 on my best of the year list, and
Nice.
Roma, which was number 5 on my best of the
Really?
year
not
list.
rooting for Spider-Verse?
Oh, yeah, I liked Spider-Verse. It
Yes.
wasn't on my best of the
And
year
it will
list. Yeah.
it will win an Oscar for sure.
Are we certain about that?
I'm pretty certain.
Because I don't know, the Academy voters seem like they don't really pay that much attention to the animated category, and they tend to go with whatever Disney or whatever
The
Pixar
Pixar,
put
yeah.
out.
I thought The Incredibles 2 was kind of lackluster.
I thought it was good, but obviously had a lot to live up to, and it's nowhere near what Spider-Verse is.
Here's what I think.
Yes.
I think that Wreck-It Ralph 2
Yeah.
and Incredibles 2 might cancel each other out.
That's true.
And then that leaves room for the artsy voters to vote for either the Isle of Dogs.
Or Ms. Miyazaki.
I don't know about Mirai or something
Mirage,
it's called.
yeah,
yeah,
And-
Mariah.
Or I think it could because Spider-Verse has so much acclaim and it's such a big hit and it's so fresh in Oscar voters' minds. Those other two came out months ago or
Yeah.
over the summer.
Yeah.
So I do think Spider-Verse, I would give that the edge to win.
Rob,
in the
did you see a
animated.
lot of the animated films nominated?
I saw The Incredibles 2. I
Okay.
liked it. I felt that it was a little bit predictable.
Yeah,
but,
right?
I
It
mean,
was
I did
by the
enjoy
numbers,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the villain character is kind of predictable. And I liked Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
the whole video game thing. I'm down with that.
But in my opinion, these are two sequels that kind of do the same thing that the first movie did. They add some more, interesting
Lyric
tones.
is good.
Sarah Silverman gets her own song. I mean, it's pretty darn great.
I did
Wait, which
like
one?
that a lot. The Slaughter
Sarah
Race
Silverman's
thing.
song in Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah,
I
she
didn't
was
remember that.
Von Sweets,
Wow.
right?
Okay, I saw the movie. I mean, it was okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
because it's up for
She-
best
I wasn't
song.
That was a
Crazy
great
about it. Okay.
voice performance. I'll
Yeah.
give you that one. And
Yes.
yeah, of course, John
It's
C.
funny
Reilly.
too.
Yes, of course, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure Spider-Man's going to win it.
I think it will, too.
because it's so great.
I did hear that it was good.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see that one. But
Rob, did you see many of the Best Picture nominees?
unfortunately, I didn't. I heard
Okay.
that Vice was really good.
Okay.
I think Christian Bale was up for Best Actor.
He won
He is up.
the
He
Golden
is
Globe.
up.
I
Won the
think.
Golden
Yep.
Globe.
And a few
Yeah.
other
I
awards,
love Christian Bale
Yeah.
so much. I'm really happy that he's up there.
And he
So,
he transformed himself pretty well in this one, I think.
He's done that before
He
too.
lost like 60 pounds for the machine.
That's
Yeah,
his
was a
thing,
long
yeah.
time ago. And then he
Yeah.
bulked up for Batman
Right,
Begins
right.
after.
Yeah.
A year after, it's like
Yeah.
crazy.
And American Hustle, of course, getting
He
the
gained
guy.
weight for
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
So this isn't the first time he's gained weight.
No, certainly
But
not.
that doesn't make a great actor. I
First
think.
time he's
Yeah.
been under a lot of latex
Yeah.
along with the weight. I
Right.
think. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like, as you said though about First Reformed and Ethan Hawke not being in that category. Having just seen that film recently, I have not been able to get some of his line deliveries in that movie are just so powerful.
Yeah.
Like, of course, the trailer line of "someone has to do something." That movie is going to stick with me for years, and that ending in particular, which is very ambiguous, is
Yeah.
definitely one that I'm going to be thinking about for a while.
It's just a powerful yet understated performance, and I think his best performance I've ever seen.
I even thought Amanda Seyfried was great in it.
Oh,
I
she
wouldn't
was
have minded
good?
if she was nominated for
I-
supporting actress.
I
Interesting.
feel like she has been consistently very good, but people kind of underestimate her.
Yeah.
Because of Mean Girls.
Because she's just consistently always good.
Yeah.
Like
And it
in
might
whatever
be her
she
look,
is.
You know,
She's just-
blonde. It might be.
I mean,
it might
yeah,
be. I
a
don't think
lot-
people take Tom Cruise as seriously. You know, maybe as they should have. Years
Well,
ago.
Collateral
Yeah.
changed my mind, and I was
Okay.
a little
He had to
Magnolia,
gray his
of
hair.
course.
He had to dye his hair
and
gray
I was
for
a little
that,
too
yeah.
young to see it in theaters, but Born on the 4th
That's
of July.
his best role
yeah,
still to this
yeah,
day.
that's an
Yeah,
incredible
I agree
role.
with that. I agree with that.
But
yeah.
let's look at the actors in the leading role. Christian Bale for Vice. It's a decent performance. I wouldn't say it's Oscar worthy.
It's
I agree.
it's
I
not
didn't
even
think it
his
was
best performance.
I agree with
Yeah.
that. I don't
Yeah,
think it was that
no.
good. No.
And then Bradley Cooper, A Star Is Born.
I'm still on the Bradley Cooper train. I love him.
Yeah.
The fact that Ethan Hawke is not in that category, I would be perfectly fine with
Right.
Cooper taking it.
And then this is an interesting one. I actually saw this movie. Wasn't thrilled by it.
I liked it more than you.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe in At Eternity's Gate, where he plays Vincent Van Gogh.
If I had a vote, that's what I would give it to.
Wow.
Of the nominees, because I think
Wow.
the other four are that subpar.
Yeah.
I,
Okay.
I really, and because Robert Redford also wasn't nominated
Yeah.
for Old Man with a Gun,
That's
and
true.
I would have liked.
But he was
to
nominated
see-
for the Golden Globe, I think, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but he wasn't even nominated for this. So yeah, I think they.
Interesting.
I'm not happy with the Best Actor nominations.
And then-
but yeah, keep going.
Then you've got Viggo Mortensen in Green Book.
Yep.
Good performance. I didn't see it as great by any stretch.
Good performance in a mediocre movie.
Yeah,
is what I would
overrated,
say.
I'd say.
And the movie itself, but he was fine.
He was
and
fine.
Mahershala was fine.
He was.
too.
I thought he was
I thought they
fantastic.
were both very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
lastly, I saved this one for the last because he's probably going to win it. Rami Malek
He
for
is.
Bohemian
Yeah,
Rhapsody.
He is
he's
gonna win,
basically
yeah.
a shoo-in.
Yeah.
Well, he's up against four much more famous people that all have previous nominations. Christian Bale's the only one to win an Oscar. He won for The Fighter. The other three don't have an Oscar, but they're household names. They're
Yeah,
iconic,
yeah.
legendary names. So
Yeah.
I mean, Rami Malek does have that against him, but
Right.
no, I do think it's his year, and I'd be very surprised if anything else wins. If anything else does
Yeah.
win, I think it would be Christian Bale for Vice.
I mean, there's been a certain
see
amount
that.
of backlash against Bohemian Rhapsody
Oh, yeah.
because of Bryan Singer, but I think in all of this, I think that Rami's managed to avoid
Correct.
that backlash. So I think that they would be still willing to give him that.
They're not going to punish the man because of who did
Yeah.
the performance because of things outside of his
But
control.
yeah, for a movie that the director didn't even direct the whole thing, that he
He
got
was
fired from the
halfway
project,
through. And it
Yeah.
shows. I thought
Yeah.
the movie, you liked it. I thought
liked
the
it.
movie was a train wreck, personally.
Really?
We went over this.
There was
yeah.
some editing issues, I'd say.
I called it the second worst movie of the year. Yeah.
You were tough, man.
That was I did not, but the performance, he does a good impression
Yeah.
of Freddie Mercury, and that's what the Academy
does.
voters tend to like.
Yeah.
When you're playing a real famous person, the voters tend to like that, and so
like last year with Gary Oldman, Darkest
exactly.
Hour.
Or when Eddie
Yeah.
Redmayne won for
Theory
over
Theory of Everything.
Theory of
Yeah.
Everything
I-
over
he-
Michael Keaton. Though.
I think
Yeah.
he deserved that. That was
not
a
over
fantastic.
Michael Keaton.
No.
Oh, Michael
Nope,
Keaton
not
was
with Birdman.
Redmayne.
Oh, I love
He was
Birdman.
fantastic. I love
Eddie
Keaton
Redmayne's
too.
a great actor, but that year I was on board with Michael Keaton winning for Birdman.
He should have won.
Yeah,
because that movie couldn't have worked with any other actor.
Yeah,
that's
but,
why.
But
yeah.
what you were saying about Rami Malek doing, a great Freddie Mercury. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people do and again, I know that he does a particularly impressive job, but he's not the only person that has a Freddie Mercury impression. In fact, there was a video going around this week on the internet of Patrick Wilson doing
Okay,
his Freddie
really?
Mercury,
Okay.
and he does his own singing because his background is in theater.
Right,
I
right.
did not
Yep.
know that. And,
Yes.
and of course, Rami Malek did not do his own singing in the movie.
Yes.
But,
Yep.
it was supposed to be Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Years
it
ago.
was.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
he was
for
originally
quite a
cast and
while.
dropped out before they
I
started
mean, I could see
filming.
Yeah,
physically,
that's-
yes.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
movie was in production turmoil
Right,
for,
right.
a,
For a
long
very long
time.
time. Yep.
And then during production, it was chaos and mayhem. So
Yeah.
Well, guys, moving on to actress in a leading role. And I actually just saw Roma earlier today. You've got Yolitsa
Aparicio.
Alita Aparicio was a pretty name. She was pretty decent.
I thought she was very good. She's not an actress. This is her
Oh yeah,
first
it's
movie.
first.
Yeah.
It was commendable. And you got Glenn Close in The Wife.
Yeah,
which
I think she's a shoe-in.
hasn't she won like every award
Never
so
won.
far? For the
For this year,
movie,
yes.
Leading up, yes,
Right,
she's
right.
the front runner based on it would be she's won everything up to this point. So
Yeah.
why wouldn't she win the Oscar?
Interesting. Yeah, she's definitely a household name.
And this is her 7th nomination, and she's never won.
7th.
So,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. Good. Was she nominated for Fatal Attraction?
Yes, she was. And she should have won for that.
Yeah,
she lost
yeah.
to Cher in Moonstruck. We were talking about that.
That's
Yes,
a great
yeah.
performance too.
I'd have given it to Glenn Close.
Yeah. Okay. Olivia Colman, The Favorite.
Yeah.
Rachel, I know you're a fan.
I think that she's kind of a dark horse in this category. I can
Yeah.
see her also taking it.
I agree.
Well,
I
she
think
won the
could.
she won the Golden Globe.
She's an
upset,
excellent actress, just
Yeah.
across the board.
She's just not-
I don't think I've ever seen her like even half-assing something. Like I've never seen her bad in something.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
She's just not very well known in this country.
Right.
Yes.
She's in England.
Yeah.
She's like
It's like
Glenn Close.
she's like
or
a British TV star, right? Pretty much.
Well, if I were to like compare her, the thing that I go with is her in Night Manager reminds me so much of Frances McDermott, of course, in Fargo.
Okay.
Very similar sort of character
Oh my God, I
actress.
love-
She has a lot of range.
Okay.
Okay. Noted.
All right. Cool.
And then we got Lady Gaga, Stars Born. I mean, I thought she was phenomenal. This is a great
Yes.
performance
Yes.
from what she's known mostly as a singer. but
Exactly. And so
she-
the fact that she delivered.
Yeah, she really delivered. She shows that she can really hold
Her
the film.
real big acting debut.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure on her, and she did well.
And I've heard she's great in American Horror Story, stuff like that. And rounding it out is Melissa McCarthy in actually my #1 movie of the year, Can You Ever Forgive Me?
And I would, if I had a vote, I would give it to Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, yeah?
If I had a vote.
I thought she was great. I don't think she should win it, though.
No.
No.
You give it to who?
I think Glenn Close
Okay.
or Lady Gaga. Actually, Gaga over Close.
Wow.
Yeah.
Glenn
Wow.
Close would be my second choice.
Interesting,
Yeah. Okay,
interesting.
yeah.
But as an overall film, Can You Ever Forgive Me? I don't know. There's something about it. It just the tone about it, you know.
Okay.
It
He
hit
plays
all
a
around.
pretty unsavory person
Yeah.
who becomes likable and relatable. And
Right.
that's not an easy task to do.
Right,
So
right, right.
Yeah.
I'd give her a lot of credit. Yeah.
Robbie, did you see Can You Ever Forgive Me?
I have not, but
Okay.
I do like Melissa McCarthy a lot.
Okay, cool. I'm a Ghostbusters, but I don't like Ghostbusters because of her. But yeah, she did an okay job. Side note.
When I think of Melissa McCarthy, I don't think of Ghostbusters.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I think of Bridesmaids, or this is
Or
her
Spy.
best dramatic
Her
role.
Yeah.
Spy is a good
Spy,
movie.
I think
Gilmore
that's
Girls.
I think Spy might be her best movie.
St. Vincent.
Other than Can You? Yes.
Which
St.
one?
Vincent. Yes.
Oh,
Such
great
an
one.
underrated movie.
Yep.
Great
Yes.
Bill Murray.
A lot,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great Bill Murray.
That was like the first dramatic turn I've seen her in. I think that was like
She was in dramatic. You ever go? There's a horrible movie. You
Yeah.
ever go back and see The Life of David Gale?
the Spacey, right?
She was in that. It was on a couple years ago, and I was like, hey, wait a minute, that's Melissa McCarthy. She's
Jeez.
just someone in it, with Kate Winslet's investigating or something. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah.
she was. Yeah.
I might have to revisit that one.
No, you don't. But maybe just for that scene.
Alrighty. Well, guys, let's see what else. Actor in supporting role: Mahershala Ali, Adam Driver, Sam Elliott, Richard E. Grant,
I'd like to see him win.
Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
That is wow.
You know, if I had a vote, it would either go to Elliot or to Grant.
Yeah, no, I agree.
No
I agree.
question.
I think Grant.
either one of them.
Grant deserves it, but I think Ali's going to take it. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yes, don't be surprised if there's an upset. I could see it going to Sam Elliott. Just because he's
been
so,
around so
Yes.
long.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
For respect.
I'm not expecting that.
Yeah.
But if they do throw a wrench into that race,
Yeah.
it would be because
No.
the other man just won 2 years ago. He's going to have 2 Oscars in
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like all the stars are aligned for Mahershala Ali to win.
Yeah.
But if there is an upset, I think it will be Sam
Or
Elliott.
maybe Adam Driver. Kidding.
I haven't heard much about.
Well, he's
his.
young. He's still got time
He's
to-
got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Plenty.
And Sam Rockwell just won last year.
All right.
Yeah.
So, and for the ladies in the supporting role, Amy Adams in Vice. She was just kind of scenery, in my opinion. I didn't think she was that great.
She was pretty despicable, as she came off as, made Lynn Chaney look bad, which I think the movie was supposed to do.
She wasn't memorable for me personally. But
Yeah, she's a great actress, but
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like it was just a thing of, well, what did she do this year?
Right.
We'll put her in this
Just throw her in.
category.
Yeah.
How many nominations does she have? 6, 7?
Yeah.
I feel like she's had a lot.
She
American
still
Hustle.
hasn't won.
And she's never won.
Yeah,
Correct. The
should have
American
won
Hustle.
for Arrival. Should have won.
She wasn't even nominated for that.
Yeah.
interesting. Strong
Yeah.
film, by the way. Marina de Tavira for Roma. Good performance.
Yes, that was a surprise that she was nominated.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Regina King, she's been
She's been winning.
Yeah,
I think
quite a
she's
bit.
going to win here.
So if we're going to go that route,
Yeah.
she's going to
and I
get
think
it.
she deserves it of the 5 they nominated.
And this is interesting too for the same film, The Favorite. We've got
Yeah.
Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz, both very good performers, very different roles, very opposites.
How are they supporting performances though?
Yeah.
They're practically the.
I know.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a
but
good
they
point.
also both already have Oscars. They'll probably cancel each other out. So
Right.
Regina King will probably win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's just move on for directing, our final category for time, basically. We've got Black Klansman by Spike Lee, Cold War by Palakowski. I did not see Cold War. I don't know if you
I
guys.
liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recommend it?
I don't think it's as amazing as maybe the critics have made it out to be.
Okay.
Because you look at Metacritic, it has like a 96 or a 98 score on Metacritic. But it's a very good movie.
Okay.
I do recommend Cold War if you have not seen
Cool.
it. Yeah.
I will check that out.
Yeah.
You guys see Cold War? Or?
No, but I'm gonna have to check it out now.
Yeah.
No,
A
it's
glowing
still on my list.
recommendation, right?
Okay,
here.
I gave it 3 stars, so yeah,
All right.
but it's a good film.
Good,
It's
good.
a solid film.
All right. And next up, The Favorite. It had some really good cinematography and direction.
Unusual. So.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
the fisheye
Me
views.
too. Like
I-
you're looking through a keyhole. Like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
spying on them. You're not supposed to see
That's
what's
good.
going on.
Very
Yeah.
perceptive. I like it. And of course, Roma, which is probably going to win the big prize too. Alfonso Cuarón was the Children of Men.
That's
Children
my
of
favorite
Men.
of his.
Yeah,
That
of
movie.
course, Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah, that's
for the
right.
Harry
He
Potter
did that
fans.
Harry
one.
Potter
Yep,
over
that
here.
one,
No.
No, he's an excellent director. You
No.
know.
Long takes. It's just,
Yeah.
he loves those long
Yep.
takes, and
The
he's so good at
The
it.
opening sequence to Roma too.
That and the beach sequence.
Oh.
That was my favorite.
The man.
That was he sees the world in this
Yeah.
very grand
It
way.
just feels
yeah.
like you're in
Yeah.
It's corny to say, but you actually feel like you're in the movie.
He did it with Children of Men.
Yeah.
He did it with Gravity.
Yeah.
And I used to think he's doing it to show off, but I guess this is just how he makes films. He's the
Yeah.
anti-Michael Bay.
Yep.
Imagine if they worked together. on
And that's
it.
just Michael Bay just sees the world in quick cuts. Like
Yeah, yeah,
everything
yeah.
is 0.5 seconds with
Yep.
him. That's
It's
his
Michael
style.
Bay, and
Yeah.
what more can I do with ILM right at this point? You know,
Yeah,
that's-
it's really
throw in a few car chases and explosions,
Uh-huh.
you got a movie.
Yep.
And lastly, Vice. I guess we have some lukewarm reception.
I wasn't
Yeah.
a fan of it.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Bale's performance, and I love the heavy makeup.
The acting was good. It's,
Yeah.
the heavy makeup. It just. Did you learn anything from that movie that you don't already know?
Yeah.
Right,
You
right,
know,
right.
it was a lot of speculation, a lot of hearsay, and who's going to see that movie? Because I don't think people are going to go see that movie unless they're into politics, into history, into so those people are going to walk out not having learned anything.
It's just gonna be preaching to the choir.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you don't like Dick Cheney, you're gonna not like him anymore. But it does try to make him a good father. Okay.
Right.
It throws
Yeah.
him a bone here or there.
Yeah.
But it just was nothing
He's-
special. To
No,
me.
he's a terrible person. He's
It's,
a terrible
and
perceptive.
and it shows that. You're
Right.
not gonna walk out loving Dick Cheney.
I mean,
Yeah.
I love the fact that Adam McKay directed this. I didn't see The Big Short, but
I wasn't
Big
crazy
Short-
about it.
The
Yeah.
Big Short, what I think is better. Like I learned more from The Big Short.
I agree with
Okay.
you. It was
Yeah.
slightly better. It's the same style, the same comedy and drama mixed
Yeah.
Yeah,
together,
I like that.
breaking
But
the fourth wall. A
yeah,
lot.
yeah, it's a great tone that they established for sure.
Yeah, in a year that had like such like I think more of a wealth of like good directing. I don't know why Adam McKay is in this category.
Yeah.
Like I mean, even we were talking about First Reform. I would rather put Paul
Paul
Schrader.
Schrader was
Paul,
the
put
writing
Paul
and
Schrader
the
in there
directing and
for
the-
both.
he
Yeah,
He did
Such a great
Taxi Driver, right?
He wrote Taxi
Wrote
Driver.
Taxi
Taxi
Yeah, he
Driver.
wrote
Yeah,
Taxi
of course,
Driver.
yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, how is he not? He's like
Yeah.
legendary.
because he pushes the envelope a lot. He takes things to extremes, like in Taxi Driver, like
Yeah.
The Last Temptation
Mm-hmm.
of Christ. He wrote that, so he takes a lot of things to places that maybe the audiences are afraid to go. I
Yeah.
don't think he did that too much in First Reformed, but
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
It was an-
definitely the ending is very uncomfortable.
That's
at
uncommon.
points.
But
yeah.
no, First Reformed has Oscar written all over it. It's like that quiet movie that I'm surprised it's not on the list.
Go back and look at the nominations. Other than Black Klansman,
Yeah.
most of them came out November, December. There's very few, like Hereditary didn't make the cut, which I love.
Was that earlier in the year then?
But also that has genre trapping.
Oh,
so because it's a
Yeah.
horror movie, I don't think people might take it seriously.
Yeah, I think my pick out of them is easily Spike Lee. Not even close.
I would give it to him.
Yeah.
And they could make history by having the first African American Best Director winner. Six black men, because Steve McQueen is British, have been nominated for Best Director.
There's never been a-
There's never been a black Best Picture Best Director winner. They've won Screenplay, they've won Best Picture. Barry Jenkins
Could have
for
sworn
Moonlight.
Moonlight.
He won Picture. He didn't win Director. Damien
Okay.
Chazelle won because that was like
Yeah.
it was such a surprise at the end that movie La La Land
Right.
had won everything up to that point. It
Yeah.
was
La
supposed
La
to.
Land. Why?
I liked it, but
It's lighthearted
Moonlight
fun.
to me that's going to probably be on my best of
Yeah.
the decade list at this point. So
Now, here's a question. What about all-time favorite Best Picture winners? Rob, do you have a favorite?
I know my answer.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. The first thing that comes to mind is The Sting. I don't know why.
Oh, good one. All right.
But I got to rack my brain a little bit for that one.
All righty. Now, that's a great movie, man.
That is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just
Yeah.
what came to mind.
Rachel?
I mean, here's the sad part. I actually don't know if this is one Best Picture, but one of my all-time favorite movies is All About Eve.
It did
Okay,
win Best
wow.
Picture.
It did
It
win
did,
Best
Is
Picture.
that,
It did, yeah.
I wasn't
Hold on
exactly
to your
sure
seats,
about that.
gentlemen. It's going to be
It's
a
gonna be a bumpy
ride.
ride.
Oh,
yeah. Betty
Both
Davis.
iconic.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, that movie is amazing.
That's
That
so
is
good.
an amazing movie. Great script. One
Yes,
of the best scripts.
yeah.
That and Chinatown, I think,
Oh.
are like and Network are like the best scripts ever
Yes,
written.
yes.
For me, my answer is The Godfather.
Okay.
So
That's good.
hands down,
That's
to
a
me
crowd
is-
pleaser.
That's the perfect movie, pretty much.
Yeah,
So
well,
that would be my favorite. Best
I think I've
Picture
got two.
Okay.
I've got One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh,
That's a great one. Yeah.
Great,
amazing
great
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
right?
goodness.
Pretty
Yeah.
perfect in my
yeah.
opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
And for the performances, Rain Man. You've got Dustin Hoffman winning an Oscar for and the relationship between him and Tom Cruise's character. It's just they're brothers, but they're
I like Tom Cruise in that more than I like Dustin Hoffman.
Really?
Because he's the one that's taking you on the journey.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's
he's the
true,
one
that's
that-
true.
You're seeing it through his eyes. He had the harder role, I think,
Yeah.
and he just didn't get it. Because once again, talking about Tom Cruise, because
Right.
of his good looks, not getting the credit that he deserved.
I mean, he's got great performances throughout his he's got like a 35-year career.
He kind of stopped giving good performances. Collateral, I think, was his last great performance.
And to a lesser extent, what was the Tropic Thunder?
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
under
Yeah.
That was
heavy,
just a fun
heavy latex.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
That was a fun
That was
performance.
a fun role.
That was a
for
good
sure,
role
for sure.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That was a very
okay, so just rounding out the Oscar discussion, I was just curious what you guys thought of the no host this year. Rob.
Mystic.
Yeah.
I didn't even aware. Wasn't
Yeah.
aware of
So
that.
Kevin Hart was supposed to host,
Uh-huh.
and then there were some old tweets from like when was it? Like a couple was it
Years ago.
Years
like
ago.
Maybe 10 years ago that were homophobic.
Homophobic
Yeah.
tweets, and basically he quit being host for the Oscars because he didn't want to like distract the audience from not liking him or something. Wow. But yeah, so now they're just going to have the presenters, the actors and filmmakers, present Oscars to each other.
Interesting.
So
I'm okay with it.
yeah,
And I'll say because that way it has a chance of ending on time. So I'm all for that. I'm all for
That's good.
let it end on time.
Right,
We
right.
don't need the host. We don't need the music performer. They could cut out so much fat
Right.
from that award show
Right.
and just make it about the awards, make it about the artists and the movies.
I
and
agree
just
with you
move on.
only if Billy Crystal were to return.
Ellen was a great host. I thought Chris Rock was great when he did it a couple of
Kimmel
years
was
ago.
decent. Kimmel was decent.
Kimmel ended up being better than I thought he would, especially with the
That's
giant
true.
screw up at the end with Moonlight and
Yeah.
La La
what
Land.
was it?
Yeah.
I thought
Envelope Gate, right?
He handled it beautifully.
Yeah.
So I give him all the credit.
And
in the
that's
world
what a
for
good
doing
host
that.
should do, is to
Yes.
smooth over the rough patches.
And he did that.
Yeah.
Well, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I'm okay with no host.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be next Sunday on ABC, so we hope to see some of our predictions come true. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah. Okay, so we're going to take a short commercial break, but we'll be back with our film review segment, so stay tuned.
Unger the Radar is brought to you by Magnitude Jewelry. Add a 2 to match your attitude. Patent pending interchange genuine gemstone and crystal EMF protection jewelry. For more information, please visit magnitudejewelry.com/gemgirl or call 718-268-6634.
Hey guys, welcome back to Unger the Radar. I'm your host, Randy Unger. And right now we've got 3 films to talk about. First off, Happy Death Day to You. Rachel, you saw it. What did you think?
I just saw it this morning in an empty theater. I was the only person going to see it today. But granted, it was the 10:30 a.m. screening, so I understand why.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, and I actually just saw the original one this week for the first
Oh,
time.
nice. Did you guys see the first Happy Death Day?
No, I haven't.
No?
I have not, no.
Okay. Basically, it's Scream meets Groundhog Day, where this girl relives her death by a mysterious stalker, and basically she has to relive the day. She somehow ends up in a time loop.
Yes.
Somehow. But that actually gets explained in
the
this
sequel.
one.
Yep.
And it's not really a spoiler, but is it a spoiler? You think it's a spoiler?
Yeah, I would, because I
Okay.
think they've kept a lot of the secrets of the movie out of the trailers. Like, they actually did, I think, a pretty good job of advertising this and hiding what they were going to be doing with it.
Okay.
Because if you're saying that the first one is Scream meets Groundhog's Day, this one is Scream meets Primer.
Okay.
It's so much more sci-fi than it is straight up horror.
No, I
really
didn't-
I
appreciate
wouldn't
that.
expect that.
Yeah, I didn't
Like
see
seeing the
Primer
trailer.
actually. Is that what's the premise there?
You just have to experience.
Okay,
Primer.
there's more
Primer-
spoilers.
Primer is just go in, watch it,
Okay.
and don't read anything about it beforehand. So,
Gotcha.
and you might need a chart afterwards to understand what exactly happened.
All
There's
right.
there's a lot of time travel involved.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah. That sounds better than Happy Death Day to You. a lot better, actually.
well, I would say that Happy Death Day to You is like a more accessible version of Primer. I
Okay.
would say, and it's definitely more funny. Primer's not going for
Right.
humor the way that this one is, obviously.
Right.
But I appreciate how they took some parts from the first movie, like the constant power surges, and they actually explained that in this one.
There was a little science in here.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Because in the first one, they just put, you just think, oh, well, it's a horror movie. Of course
Right.
the lights are constantly going to be going
And there's
out.
no explanation why this is happening, why
Yeah.
the time loop is happening
Yeah.
at all. So,
Which was my biggest complaint about the first one.
Okay,
I
interesting.
would have liked to, know that. So.
right. I just like this one because it expands upon the original. Most, the supporting cast mostly.
Yes.
So
yeah.
it was cool to see that. But yeah, it's an okay horror comedy. It was better than I expected. Better than
Yeah, certainly better than I expected.
Yeah.
I went in with very low expectations, and I had a great time with it.
nice.
I really do hope that people go out and see it and give it a chance,
Yeah,
because
it's fun.
I liked it.
I think
quite a bit.
both movies should be seen as a double feature. It'd be a nice
Yes.
companion piece.
Yes, and definitely if you're going in thinking that it's going to be just like the first one, it's going to be straight up slasher, it's not. Definitely not.
yeah.
So
It's actually more of a comedy than anything else.
much more of a
Yeah.
comedy, much more of a sci-fi comedy.
Right.
I really did like the addition also of the science buddies
yeah.
to the cast. I thought they were a really nice addition to
Very
it.
Big Bang Theory.
Yes, and they definitely do set up in the post credit sequence for a third movie.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that happens.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. Next up, guys, Lords of Chaos. Jason, I think you're the only one who saw this one, which is cool because, this is a great movie, guys. I recommend it. No, it's not. You don't. I loved it. I think it's on my top 5 right now of the year. And it's
I don't even think I have a top 1 of the year. Glass would be
Yeah.
my top 1 of the year. Or the next movie that we discuss. One of those two would be my best of the year so far.
But basically, Lords of Chaos stars Rory Culkin as a teenager in Oslo, Norway during 1987 who tries to start up a death metal band. And basically, he gets a rival, and the rival is kind of psychotic, and there's a conflict there. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
I thought it was very unpleasant. I thought it was
Not for everyone.
trying to upset you and throw as much, unexpected gore and violence and the drug use and I'm not one that's offended by things like I love horror movies.
Right.
But this was just
Gratuitous.
Yeah, gratuitous, and I got bored with it. Okay, boredom of watching Rory Culkin sulking, and boredom of just the same monotonous, in-your-face, trying to look edgy, scary, violent, and I didn't feel anything for it. And I also felt the director seemed to have contempt for the subject matter or contempt for the music. I feel like the music they played was done very in a very negative, sarcastic tone.
Right.
It made metal look bad. It made metal heads look bad.
Okay.
It rubbed me the wrong way, and I guess it was supposed to.
I looked
but
at
I
it from
found
the
it very unpleasant.
I looked at it from the strong performances from Culkin and was it Emery Cohen?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Who plays Varg, this like psychotic wannabe death metal head.
I wish they had a director that maybe had a little more respect for the material. It reminded me of Train Spotting, but I think that managed to, when it was supposed to be humorous, it was humorous.
Yep.
This maybe was supposed to be humorous at a few parts, or I could tell they were trying to go for that. There's sort of the shock value, because the violence isn't, it's supposed to be like shocking, and it just wasn't funny. It wasn't, it didn't sit well with me, and it just was a very unpleasant 2 hours.
So you thought Culkin's performance wasn't really...
It was nothing special.
Yeah.
I personally don't think I'll remember this movie a few weeks from now or a few months from now.
Okay.
Just, having seen it, and
I don't know, it's just something about the tone. It was just over the top throughout the whole thing. Yeah. It was a fun movie for me, even though it was extremely gory.
I mean, I know Norway has a very large metal subculture, and it's popular there. I just think it made it look unappealing, when it could have been maybe a little more. I want to get into this culture, and then I'm thinking about like a mafia movie where they try to lure you into this underworld of violence and crime.
Yeah.
And then you realize, this is bad. These people are killing each other. They could have lured me in a little bit better, and maybe then I would have cared about the characters, cared about what was going on, and then when oh my God, bad stuff happens, I'd have felt a little.
Now, do you think that's the director's fault or the screenwriter?
Well, the director's the one who's in charge making the decisions that make the movie, so he could have taken the script and, made it how he wanted to, but it was negative from the beginning.
Okay.
So the whole movie was 2 hours of negative energy.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no good vibes from this one for me. So.
Are you guys Rory Culkin fans?
The only thing that I've seen him in was an episode of Law and Order SVU. that I can remember.
Did he play a killer or some kind of creepy dude?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was very young in it.
Okay.
But
he's been acting since Home Alone.
Home Alone. He was
19
Fuller.
Yeah.
Pepsi.
Yeah,
drinking
he
too
was
much Pepsi.
like 7 years old
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
Fuller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Rachel?
feel like my favorite role with him it's a supporting role, but in Scott Pilgrim versus the World, I think he's
Good movie.
Who was
very,
he in
very
that?
funny
Good
in it.
movie,
He's
yes.
he's the roommate.
Okay.
Wallace.
That's right.
Yep.
Good. I forgot
It's been a while since I've seen that. Edgar Wright, right?
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Okay.
He was good in. There was a TV show when Spike TV became the Paramount Network,
Okay.
and it was about Waco with Michael Shannon. I
Oh,
feel like this
he's
is my
so great.
this is my
Yes,
third.
yes.
Yeah, it was good, and he was really good in it as one of the cult members.
Nice.
Rory Culkin. But this is my third show with you.
Yeah.
I think each show I've been on, we mentioned Groundhog Day,
Yeah.
and we mentioned Michael Shannon.
Well, those are two great
Somehow
things.
they pop up into every conversation.
Yep. And Michael Shannon, considering he was in Groundhog Day,
Right,
it makes
exactly.
even
His
more
first
sense.
role.
So
Yeah.
it all comes back to Groundhog
Now, if
Day.
only
It's all
Michael
circular.
Shannon did a remake of Groundhog Day, then
Ooh, that would be
the
weird.
perfect circle.
We've had
would
so
be
many
weird.
things coming out recently, though, that are dealing with the time loop thing. Like Russian Doll, of course, on Netflix.
I haven't watched it, but yeah,
It's
I've heard it's good.
excellent.
I've heard
It's
All right.
so good.
Add that to the
Highly
list.
recommended.
Tom
Yes.
Cruise movie, Edge of Tomorrow.
Yep.
That was Groundhog Day as a sci-fi action.
Oh yeah, they kept
Yep.
The
dying.
aliens
Yep.
kept, and Emily Blunt. Yeah, they live, die, repeat.
That's
yeah.
just a Cruise performance that it does not appeal to me at all. The story is interesting.
It was
But-
better than I thought it would be. I think
Yeah.
Cruise post Collateral.
No.
You see his career change, and that's a whole topic for another discussion.
Right,
because
right.
I think he got
Yeah.
more into Scientology, and he
Right.
got more. He stopped trying to act to work with great directors like Kubrick and Scorsese
Oh,
and
yeah.
Spielberg,
Right,
and he
right.
started just trying
Stone.
to be Oliver Stone. He
Yeah.
started to just try to be the action star,
Yeah.
save the world from aliens, from sci-fi,
Yep.
because that's.
But he's still doing it. It's sad.
The new Mission Impossible was good.
It was
That
good,
was
but
a
it was
good
more
movie.
of the same.
It was. It wasn't Oliver Stone, or it wasn't like one
Thankfully,
of the 4th
no.
of July or
Yeah.
anything like that. Because he's worked with some great directors throughout his
True,
career.
true.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So next up, the main event: Alita, Battle Angel, directed by Robert Rodriguez,
Yes.
produced by James Cameron and John Landau of Titanic fame. Huge movie, sci-fi epic of ginormous proportions.
Yeah.
Basically, it's about It's an interesting plot. Christoph Waltz plays a doctor in, 25?
I have it in my review.
Three something.
It's into the future. It's way into the future.
300 years after the
fall. Yeah.
Whatever that is.
300 years after the fall.
And
the
basically,
fall is never
you've got
explained.
Iron City, which is like this metropolis, which is kind of also a wasteland. There's like unsavory characters here and there. Christoph Waltz plays this doctor. He's a cybernetic doctor. He discovers the head and shoulders of a robotic girl, Alita, and basically gives her a cybernetic body, and she finds herself as a motorball player, sport they play during this time period, which is basically rollerblading and hockey.
It's rollerball.
Rollerball.
Once again,
it's rollerball.
Right, the John
The
McTiernan.
well, that was the remake.
Right,
The original
okay.
had James Caan. And
Oh
that's-
my God, yeah.
The special effects aren't there, but it's a significantly
That's true.
better movie.
I love the original.
I like
Yeah.
it too. I like it too. There's no wars in the future. Everything's
yeah.
decided by rollerball.
I love it.
Yeah.
So basically, she finds herself as a person. She finds, I guess, true love in some respect, and and also she's quite a plot. It's a mouthful. She registers as a hunter killer who, goes out and hunts other cybernetic organisms, and it's a crazy movie.
Yeah.
And the visual effects are, in my opinion, the best of the year so far.
Yeah.
It's been a short year so far.
Yes. It's only February. Halfway
Right.
through February.
Yeah.
But this is one of the first times where I was like really impressed by 3D.
I liked
Me
it.
as well.
I didn't
Yeah,
see it in 3D.
I did see it in 3D. I wasn't as impressed as, say, Avatar, but I was impressed.
I did see Avatar in 3D, but I appreciated Alita more in 3D.
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't-
I'm the complete
I didn't
opposite.
really love Avatar as a movie.
Did you see IMAX 3D?
Back in 2009?
Yeah.
I think I saw it in 3D.
That was a game changer.
It
That
was.
still, to me, is the best 3D I've ever seen in a movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think Alita beats it, in my opinion.
Oh, I
I have to
No.
agree with you.
The motorball scene alone. that was
I wasn't transported to Pandora the way it was. Okay.
You weren't
I
transported to Iron
felt
City.
watching that movie, I felt like I was there. Like, just the environment and
Nice.
they
Yeah.
created and everything like that. It kind of reminded me of, like, a Blade Runner.
Almost.
You know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like, you really felt like you were a
Iron
part
City
of that.
kind of
Yeah.
felt like LA.
Very much like
Yeah.
the dystopian
Yeah.
LA and Blade Runner.
Brazil.
That was
Yeah.
my problem.
Actually,
yeah.
in the manga, there's a reference to Brazil, which I was really happy.
Oh, that's
What was
cool.
the reference?
It's actually just like a small sign, like
Okay.
for like a storefront. It says Brazil, like in the same text.
Oh,
like,
that's
I was like,
great.
it's so cool. There's a lot of really cool.
That was
stuff like
only
that.
in the manga. That wasn't in the movie?
manga.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
The thing that upset me the most, not that I should hold this against the movie too much, but it didn't have a single original thought. Alita. It was all Blade Runner.
Right.
It made us think of District 9. It made me think of
Right.
You know, the androids, the artificial intelligence, AI. It made me think of that, the look of the androids.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
It was fun. It delivered what I wanted it to with the action and the effects, and I had fun with
But
it.
it was old hat
But it was
in terms of
it's-
story.
Every single thing
Yeah.
was from Blade Runner, or from
But that's
Brazil,
what
or from
people
something
want.
else.
They
thing
want
And it was fine.
It's
I
a
enjoyed
formula,
it.
yeah.
And I enjoyed the formula.
The thing that I appreciate about the story is that like there's cyborgs and everything like that.
Yeah.
But like, you know, they're machines and everything like that, but they still have their humanity.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's one thing that I thought was kind of original about the story
Yeah,
that I appreciate.
That's what audiences love to see.
Yeah.
And Blade Runner
AI.
touches on that too. And Blade Runner
Yes,
2049
yes,
touches on
yes.
that even more.
I'm dying to see that. I still
Yeah.
haven't
You haven't seen
it.
20?
Yeah,
Oh, it's a good one.
I
I
It's
actually-
long, but it's good.
I fell asleep during the second Blade Runner. Right?
Oh, it's good. Did you see it in the theater?
Yeah. I
Okay.
wasn't impressed. I mean, maybe
Whoa.
from what I
Okay.
before
Give
I
it
fell
another
asleep.
chance.
I'll give it another shot.
It's
yeah.
on HBO all the time. Give it
Yeah.
another
I just
chance.
don't like Ryan Gosling too much.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Drive?
Drive is
Disagree
an
on that one.
exception.
He should have won an Oscar for Drive. He was that good.
Yeah. Was he nominated for that one?
No,
Nope.
no, he was not. But I think he's good most of the time.
Yeah. Okay.
so-
I'll give you that one.
Yeah. I will say, as far as we were talking about the originality of the story and about how a lot of it is a lot of recycled tropes from
Yep.
other sci-fi movies, something that I thought that the movie could have explored, especially because it's such a movie based in identity, and it's a world in which people can switch out body parts and they can switch out their entire bodies if they want to. For a movie that focuses on that, it is extremely heteronormative. I kept scanning crowds being like, there has to be some queer people in this world because it's 300 years in the future. People can switch out their body parts. There have to be some non-binary people in this world.
I didn't think
but
about that.
Yeah. That's a totally
really-
unique perspective. Okay.
yeah, really, there was it wasn't represented at all.
As you were
So-
talking
That's very
about it, you were making me think of the movie Face Off. Like these guys could just switch their bodies and maybe go home to a different wife or something.
Switch your body. Yeah.
Go home and do, stop crime that way or something.
Yeah,
So.
but especially the scene where she has this body that that she's found, that she's brought back to Christoph Waltz, and she just says, "This is the body that I should be in. This right here is who I'm meant to be." And him denying her that was a moment
That's
where
a
I'm
huge
just like,
commentary on identity.
You could have gone so many interesting places
Right.
with that. I feel like if they had gotten, like, say, the Wachowskis to help in writing the script for it, they really could have explored those issues.
Looking at a different movie, though.
Yeah, a very different
very
movie.
different movie. And I like,
Yeah.
I like, obviously, love The Matrix, but
Yeah.
how great was Cloud Atlas
Oh.
Yes.
for that? Talking about
I
identity.
And they're great
again,
at
I have to
adapting
disagree with you,
stuff.
sir. Nope.
Like,
I love the
that's-
idea,
yeah.
but Hanks was wasted. Barry was okay.
No, I thought that
Nope.
was... Did you like Cloud Atlas?
I liked Cloud Atlas.
Okay. I didn't like
quite a
Jupiter
bit.
Ascending.
Yes.
That one I thought was...
I still have not seen Jupiter Ascending, but I am a fan of Cloud Atlas, and I love Sense8, their
Haven't
Netflix
watched
show.
that. I
It's
haven't watched that.
wonderful.
Okay.
I absolutely love it. It hits on so many sweet spots for me, and I feel like with the skill that they adapted such difficult source material of Cloud Atlas, they could have done something similar with Alita, because there's so much material that's clearly in this movie. There's so many plot lines going on, and I feel like they could have maybe done a better job, maybe giving a few moments,
think
like
about that.
some beats,
Different
some time for the
So
characters to breathe.
you think the Wachowskis should have helmed Alita?
I think
instead
that
of
I
Rodriguez?
think maybe I would have kept Rodriguez as the director, because I think he did a great job with directing it, but I think the Wachowskis should have at least helped out with the script.
Interesting.
The thing is, like, I mean, I felt like, because I'm like almost done with the manga. There's like 5 books and everything. I'm almost through the 4th one. I felt like the characters are much more developed. Like as you were saying, like it moves very fast and everything like that. But the manga is definitely worth reading. Like the big guy in that movie, Grishka.
Yeah.
His backstory in the manga is incredible. Like, I mean, I remember reading it and I shed tears for that character. Like, he's really, really great.
Because in the movie, he's just this big brute.
Yeah.
And
yeah, like
They touch on it a little bit, though, with him living under, how there's the different class levels of society.
Yeah.
they did really
And then up
explore
there,
it.
up to the top, it's like Elysium, another
Yeah.
movie you took from. You want to go up,
Yeah,
you want to
yeah.
get up there, so move up. Oh,
I could see, spin-offs and sequels for a while from this movie.
I mean, they set it up, for
Yeah.
the grand
Yeah,
future
yeah,
with that and
exactly.
everything like that.
But we'll see
So.
because it didn't make the money they were hoping it would make this weekend,
Oh,
even though it was number one.
Yeah.
Let's see if that happens. Yeah.
I
That
wonder
makes me
how it
sad.
did worldwide, though, because I know that
That's a factor,
that's obviously a huge factor.
Yeah.
Pacific Rim flopped in the U.S., but it was a huge hit in China and overseas, and that's why it got a sequel. So
Yeah.
Interesting. So I just wanted to briefly touch on James Cameron films, just his filmography. Rob, do you have some highlights, some favorites?
Always, Terminator 1 and 2.
Yes.
The little Easter egg in Alita. Actually, Ito's character, his first name in the manga is Daisuke.
Oh, Dyson,
His
yeah.
first name is Dyson.
T2.
Miles Dyson from Terminator
The man
2.
responsible for the apocalypse.
Yeah,
Judgment
unfortunately.
Day.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, there's a scene where Alita's wearing a green shirt in the movie, and it's like a triangle with another small triangle inside of it, and it very strongly resembles the Cyberdyne Systems logo.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know
There's
that.
some overlap, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, I love Terminator 1 and 2. I mean, Avatar's good. I saw The Abyss, and I was a little bit underwhelmed by it. But it was kind of cool.
Great,
but-
great visual effects for 1989.
Oh yeah. I mean,
the sea creature, the watery silver, won the Oscar that year for best visual effects, and that was actually, groundbreaking for the time for Industrial Light and Magic.
Yeah.
And Cameron later used them for pretty much. I don't know if he used it for Avatar.
I don't know.
I know that
Or True Lies.
He wanted to use that same thing in T2, and he did that with the 3000 and everything.
Right,
like that,
exactly.
which
He
is-
used Stan Winston for a lot.
That was more the practical effect, the
and
puppetry.
in Terminator 2 as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. But that sea creature technology, I think they also used that in Cocoon, if I'm not mistaken.
Cocoon came first.
Cocoon
was
then the
before
Abyss.
Abyss, yeah.
Okay.
Both good movies.
Yeah, great movies. I love the 80s, that. Rachel, do you have a favorite Cameron film or top?
Of course, I love Terminator. I'll give a shout out. I know that it's not going to get a whole lot of play with this crowd, but Titanic is still a really impressive movie.
is
I love Titanic.
It's still a very
I love it too.
impressive movie.
It's a very well made.
It's a very good movie.
Like
Yeah.
every aspect of that movie, the
Yeah.
production is.
you could watch it with no sound, and you would get every part of that story, and you would know from the look of the characters, the way that they're shot, you would know their relationships,
Right.
and that's just a really incredible thing for me.
Right. I would have just seen a movie about Billy Zane's character.
I
Yeah.
think
Did you hate him or what? He
Of
should have gotten
course.
a nomination for
He
that.
was a
He
prick.
was-
and his career
He
kind
was
of ended
really
after that. What did he do after
I know.
that?
He did. The
Zoolander years later as a cameo.
Yeah, no, you're right. He
Yeah.
was on a hot streak. He had
I know.
Phantom, then
which
Titanic.
flopped, but then
Yeah.
Titanic, which was huge, biggest movie ever.
But he's a
Yeah.
very interesting actor.
He is.
I would have liked to-
Demon Knight. I liked him.
Yeah,
I love
Dead
that
Calm.
movie. Dead Calm, yeah. But
Oh.
yeah.
How about you, Jason? What favorite
I
Cameron?
like all James Cameron movies.
Everyone.
And, like, every single one of them. My friends got mad at me one time when I said, if I had to pick, I would say James Cameron's worst movie is Titanic. But I still love it. I still like it. I still think it's a very... And they're like, you're telling me True Lies is better. You're telling me this is better. Yes, I think those are better movies. I think True Lies as a kid, I just liked
love
it for
it.
the Arnold action.
Of course.
Now watching it as the marriage dynamics with him and
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis, it's fantastic. She
Yeah.
gives a terrific performance.
That movie is still not out on Blu-ray, right?
No.
Like it's still
It's
not
just on
available,
DVD.
I
I
believe,
have
yeah.
the DVD.
It's a
and
crying
I'm
shame.
content with that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But
I
you know
have
what?
upgraded.
This is the 25th anniversary this year, so fingers crossed.
94
Came out in
somewhere
94.
so this is the 25th
It has to come out on
anniversary.
Blu-ray or 4K or something.
Something
Yeah.
this
Something's
year.
gotta give.
Because I would say every one of his movies. I would say if I had to pick a favorite,
Yeah.
Terminator 2, then 1.
Nice.
Aliens. No one
Oh
mentioned
my
Aliens
God.
yet.
I
Yeah.
love
What a
Aliens
strong
too,
woman.
yeah.
What a. I mean, he
Yeah.
does. And
That's a
why
beautiful movie.
Alita Battle
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Sarah Connor. He does a lot with
Kate
strong
Winslet's
women.
in Titanic.
Kate Winslet in Titanic.
They're all strong
The Woman in
leads.
the Abyss, Mary Elizabeth
Yeah,
Mastrantonio
yeah.
in the Abyss.
Yeah.
But Cameron, I think, that Battle Angel, Alita Battle Angel, felt so much like a James Cameron movie because of that strong female
Yeah.
character in the future.
I heard that he purchased the script, the rights to that movie like 20 years ago because
Yeah.
he wanted
Wow.
to like make it for his daughter and everything.
He's
Oh,
been trying to
wow.
make it for a very long
Yeah,
time.
but he's
That's
always had a
crazy.
strong female,
Yeah,
and
in almost
Dark
all the
Angel, the
movies.
TV show that he produced.
I didn't see that one.
It was late 90s. It was Jessica Alba's big first thing. Yeah, so back in the day.
Side note: whatever happened to Linda Hamilton?
She's doing Terminator
question.
5
Is she
or
doing
6.
it?
She's doing
Yeah.
it. She looks
That's
really
right,
old.
yeah.
She's
But like
doing the
between
Terminator.
T2 and now,
Dante's Peak. I don't know.
of
She hadn't.
I'll
done
ignore. I
much,
heard
but, yeah.
that good comment. No,
It was a bad movie. It was a
it was
very
bad.
bad
It was
movie.
terrible.
Yeah. That I was like, come on, Pierce Brosnan. He was James Bond, and that was the best he could do in between Bond films. Yeah.
All right, guys. So for time, I'm gonna. This is a totally different switch here. We're gonna talk about an event I went to last night, which was pretty awesome. The Red Room Orchestra at Symphony Space in the city. They did the music of the films from Wes Anderson. And basically, they took all the rock, the British invasion music from the 60s and 70s, and they basically redid it live in this concert setting.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It sounds really cool.
Yeah, and then the night before they did Twin Peaks, the music of Twin Peaks.
Sounds
That's awesome.
more up my alley.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That sounds great.
So guys, if you're ever, look for, some good entertainment, Symphony Space in the city, it's uptown, and they have some really great stuff, so check that out.
Cool.
And lastly, I just wanted to mention that today, just today, is the 30th anniversary of The Burbs coming out. I don't know if you guys have fond
I like
memories.
The Burbs very much.
I love this movie. This is one of my all-time favorite comedies. Tom
Probably
Hanks
my
movie.
favorite early Tom Hanks movie. My
Yeah.
favorite Tom Hanks before he started winning Oscars.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would say, yeah.
That was when he was really like a comedic leading man.
Dragnet, that,
Yeah.
Turner and Hooch.
Money,
yeah.
Money Pit,
Money Pit,
Splash, you
Yep.
know. Rob, are you a fan of The Burbs?
I unfortunately have never seen it.
Oh my
You know,
God.
it's been on my list, but just haven't gotten around to it. So I got to check it
It's
out.
a great.
now.
It's from 1989. It's
Great
such
Bruce Dern, too, as Rumsfeld.
Yeah, yeah.
Rumsfeld. Yeah.
and the late Rick I can never say his name. Document.
Ducommun.
Ducommun?
Rick
Is that-
Ducommun. He was in Groundhog Day once again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It all comes back to Groundhog
It
Day.
does.
Yeah.
It really
It
does.
does. He
That's
was
it.
also in Die Hard. He's the guy who cuts the power.
Right.
Yeah.
He was also in Gremlins 2, also directed by Joe Dante.
Yes, he did. Well, who did The Burbs?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So.
Rachel, a Burbs fan.
I have only seen it the one time. It's one that I've wanted to go back to, though.
Okay.
And this is a good excuse for me to revisit it.
Yeah,
so.
of course. It's good stuff. You guys Tom Hanks fan? I mean, who isn't, right?
Yeah. Oh,
I know
of
one
course.
person that hates Tom Hanks.
Hates?
He doesn't like anything he did. Yeah, except for I think he liked Road to Perdition.
I would like to have him on my show.
Road to Perdition is one of my Road to Perdition is one of my favorite Tom Hanks movies.
Okay.
But yeah,
I got to see that again.
he's not a big Tom Hanks fan. I love Forrest Gump.
Yeah, of course. Castaways.
His performance in Castaway, the movie was
Interesting. Yeah.
His
He
performance
really,
was
yeah, he literally carried that movie. Like,
Yeah.
great performance.
Yeah.
So guys, a few more minutes left.
Albert Finney.
Oh,
Yes.
Albert Finney. Yeah, well,
Let's give a shout out
Yes.
to the
Let's do
late
that.
great Albert Finney. Yeah,
Yes.
because
He
I know
passed-
you and I both appreciate one of his films
I think
for sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
Rachel too, and yeah.
Yes, of course.
Rob.
What's your favorite Albert Finney?
Oh goodness. Well, childhood me would have to say Annie because
yes, Daddy Warbucks.
I did grow up with Annie. Listening.
Did he
to
shave his
some-
head for that? Because it looked pretty.
Yeah, I
it looked
think
good.
I think so. But of course, he's wonderful in that. But Big Fish, as
Oh
an
my
adult, is just the one that's closest to
I
my
love
heart.
that. That's one of my favorite all-time Tim Burton movies for
Yes.
sure.
I love that movie.
It's like his last great movie, I'd say.
Tim Burton?
Yeah.
I'll disagree. I didn't think it was that good. But,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. I cried like a baby at the end.
Oh, that movie's beautiful. I love
it's really
it.
good.
Yeah. You're a tough nut to crack.
But Albert Finney was good. Albert Finney's always good.
Yeah.
I know my personal favorite Albert Finney
Okay.
role and possibly movie is the Coen Brothers' Miller's Crossing.
Oh my
Where
yes.
he's the old
gangster,
gangster,
yeah,
old
yeah,
Irish
yeah, the
gangster.
Irish yep.
He was perfect in that. But of
Interesting.
course, I think his last great role was the last time he was nominated for the Oscar for Erin Brockovich as her
Oh, yeah,
boss,
yeah.
as her
Yes.
attorney.
That was great.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
Now
great.
she
was
won.
great in that.
She won.
Robert
he was
won.
nominated.
Right.
He lost to another Soderbergh performance, Benicio del Toro, for Traffic.
Oh,
so
nice.
yeah,
Nice.
you can't complain too much
Yeah.
there. But yeah, he was 0 for 5 for the Oscars. Never went to the Oscars any of the times that he was nominated. Such a
Wow.
great old-fashioned,
Yeah.
tough English,
I think
Irish
Brando
guy.
did that at least once.
Brando, he had the Sacheen
Yeah.
Little Feather
Right,
come
right.
up and not accept the Oscar. Yeah, not accept it for The Godfather.
Right.
But yeah.
Yep.
That's-
So he's one of those guys.
And also worth mentioning, because we mentioned Joe Dante, Dick Miller also passed
Yes,
away
the
recently.
great Dick Miller. Yeah.
He was in the Terminator,
He
the
was
first
in the
Terminator.
original Terminator. He sold him the gun.
He was the gun shop owner
Oh,
who gets
wow.
killed.
Okay, yeah, that guy was also in Gremlins 1 and 2.
That's right.
Yeah, Joe Dante.
Dick, yeah, Dick Miller.
He's
yeah.
done like I don't know, 100 roles, like more.
something like that.
he's a
Always
great
a
character
supporting
actor.
role.
Yeah.
Since like the 50s, he
Yep,
was
exactly. Yeah.
really a legend in
He had
film.
a cut scene in Pulp Fiction. He's in charge. He's
Really?
Joe's garage when Harvey Keitel takes him to the garage. when
Oh,
they're in their-
okay.
after all they have all the
after
blood.
they have all the blood on there, and they're in Quentin Tarantino's.
Did they film that scene?
Yes.
Oh my
it's,
god.
It's
YouTube.
in the oh, or the DVD, the Blu-ray.
Is that- I don't
yeah, if
have
you have
the-
Pulp
Okay.
Fiction, you don't have Pulp Fiction.
I don't have the Blu-ray.
The DVD has it.
Okay.
I have it on DVD, and it's,
Okay.
it's definitely there.
Good
yeah,
to know.
So that's definitely Dick Miller. He's like one of those great character
Yeah,
actors.
man.
that-
You can never
yeah,
forget
like
him.
When John Polito passed away, I was upset. Or
Oh.
James Caron, I really liked him
Yeah.
as a character actor.
Also,
yeah.
Dick Miller also died in a 80s horror comedy called Chopping Mall. I don't know if you guys.
I saw
No.
Chopping Mall. What a great
Yeah.
80s cheesy movie.
Right.
The little robots going around the mall.
Yeah,
that's
you used to go to the video store and get the VHS of that.
Yeah.
It was a great time.
it is. It is. Yeah, Chopping Mall is a very underrated
fun movie.
Yeah.
So, guys, we got a few minutes left. Plugs? Anything going on? Rob?
No, not too much. Just happy to be here. I love movies.
Oh.
Check me out. Rob Harris on Facebook. I never post anything, but if you want to talk to me about movies, I'm there.
Awesome.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Rachel E. Kolb. You can also check out my theater coverage on ludusnyc.com. And I just wanted to give a quick plug for an event that's coming up this week, Friday and Saturday night at the People's Improv Theater Loft. It's called The Movie Idiot's Guide to the Oscars. And they're going to cover every single Oscar movie in 1 hour, which is insane, but they will do it. I've seen it before. It's a wonderful show. If you get a chance to go see it, tickets are only $10 for it. So
Cool.
And you could check out all my Oscar predictions, all my thoughts on the Oscars, who you should put your money on. I wrote a whole article about that on my website, www.panandslam.com. You could follow Jason Koenigsberg, follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, Jason K. Critic, or just read all my reviews, listen to my reviews and my articles about the Oscars and every other movie at panandslam.com.
Cool. All right. Well, guys, just want to give a couple plugs from our sponsor. This may take a while. All right. February 22nd to the 24th is the Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles, California. March 3rd, we've got a holistic event. March 10th, the Mindy's Psychic Fair in Glen Clove Mansion. March 22nd to 24th is the New Life Expo at the New Yorker Hotel in the city. April 10th is the Mindy's Psychic Fair in Plainview, Long Island. April 28th is the Awaken Fair in Tarrytown, New York. May 7th is the Psychic Fair in Plymouth, Massachusetts. May 16th is the Boom Business Expo at the Hilton Hop Hog. May 19th is the Psychic Fair Hampton Inn. June 19th is the Psychic Fair at the Courthouse Marriott. And if you mention Unger the Radar on the Magnitude website, you'll get an extra discount, so be sure to do that. I want to thank my wonderful panel of critics today. This was great. And thank you so much for being here. I've been your host, Randy Unger. This is Unger the Radar, and we'll be back next week. Take care, guys.
Cheers.
Unger the Radar is all new next week with more movie reviews and interviews on Strong Island radio and television. Stay tuned. We'll see you next week.